Say, can I what?
Mute your computer audio, please. Oh,
But it's thought it not gonna hear me.
the computer audio, not the audio of
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad.
you good.
Go ahead.
All right, move your IG camera up because I only see your nose and down.
All right, but now I can't hear you. I'm confused.
Put your headphones in. Your headphone.
Well, I hear you now. I just had to turn my phone up. I can turn my phone down, but turn the
Okay.
computer audio off. That's
All right.
cool.
Well, we
That's
are
cool.
all
I hear
good.
you now.
All right. Well, great afternoon, everybody. Great afternoon. Welcome back to another call with the amazing Nella and
Hey, Star, you know, you
I'm
know,
fine.
you know.
All right. Well, guys, today we are going to be talking about locking in your property. Okay. Last week we talked about automating your cleaning system and working with your cleaners and hiring cleaners, all that good stuff revolving around cleaners. Okay. So today we are going to be focusing on actually locking in your property and what that process looks like, what it looks like to make that first initial call, what it looks like to go ahead and just get the process going, touring the property, what you should be looking for with that, and then the important part, signing your lease. Okay, we all get to everything except for signing the lease, and then we think that we just sign on the dotted line. No, there's actually things that you need to be looking for when it comes to signing your lease. Okay, so I'm
Fact.
going to go ahead and jump right into it. First and foremost, Jason, how are you doing today? How you feeling?
Man, listen, I'm amazing, man. Welcome to the call. Y'all about to get all this Airbnb game for free. You know what I'm saying? She ain't let me say that part at the beginning. So, I got it coming for free. You know what I'm saying? But no,
Can't.
I'm amazing. God woke me up this morning. So that means I still have purpose. So I am incredible. Let's go.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, when you are making your first initial contact to a property manager or a landlord, you want to be yourself. Okay. Now, there's one of two ways that you can do this. I personally like to take the first way, which is actually making a physical phone call. A lot of people, they do emails and everything up under the sun. I like to make the personal connection with somebody. Okay. So, guys, first and foremost, Instagram, if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and vice versa. If y'all see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at Instagram. Okay. So
And I'm
I'm
looking
trying to
straight
make
at
sure
all
y'all get
y'all.
all the
Know what I'm saying?
Irkin. Okay. Irkin. Anyway, so the very first thing that you want to know is you can either email people or you can phone a friend. Phone a friend. Phone the property manager or the landlord. Okay. So me personally, I love to pick up the phone and dial the number and get somebody on the line. I refuse. Sometimes I do, but typically I refuse to send an email to anybody. I like to make the initial connection. I like to build a rapport with people right off the bat, because once you build that rapport, even if you aren't the person touring, which is our case, I am the person that's behind the scenes. I like to do all the numbers and everything else, make the phone calls. J Star is the person that is boots on the street. Okay. He goes up, he does all the touring and everything else. So we're going to break this up for you guys. But that initial connection with somebody makes them feel like they are a person. It makes them feel like they are of value to you. Okay. So for me, when I first pick up the phone and I call somebody and I say, "Hey, my name is Nella. I'm calling from IMBK Properties, and we are a Baltimore based midterm rental company. And then I like, before, let me back up a little bit. Before I even jump into my whole little spiel, you guys, you want to make sure that your spiel, because I know a lot of people, they will buy courses, buy ebooks, and watch YouTube videos and everything up under the sun and take all these notes. But you have to make the stuff that you learn sound like you. Okay. If you do not, you're going to sound like a robot. You're not going to sound genuine. You're going to sound just like, okay, this is just
Like you're
business.
reading.
All right.
Feel like you're just
Right.
reading.
Right. Like you're just going to sound like you're just reading off of a
Hi, my
script.
name is. Don't even know your name.
Right.
Hello?
Like, hi, my name is enter name here. Like, oh wait, no, that's what I'm supposed to, like, that's how it's going to end up sounding,
Facts.
okay? And you don't want to sound like that. You want to sound like yourself. So when you guys are getting all these scripts and everything else from other places, other coaches, other mentors and things of that nature, make sure you tailor it to you, because what they use is tailored to them and their personality, okay? If you like the way the words are formed, great, but now add your little flair on there, okay? Now, me personally, before I even jump into my spiel, I always ask them, how are you doing today? Like, and then if it's a Friday, I'm like, well, guess what? You only got a few more hours and then the day's over. And then they, like,
Facts.
get them relaxed, get them kind of open and everything else. And if they tell me they're not having a good day, I let them know, well, hey, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. Like, I hope that our conversation will make your day a little bit better. All those different types of things. And then it opens them up. It makes them feel better. It makes them feel more
Building rapport.
relaxed. Right. This is all building rapport. Okay. Before you even get to the property. If you are not building rapport, if you think that the initial conversation with them is just to see if they will allow you to do short-term rentals, midterm rentals, you're wrong. This is the first connection. This is, first impressions are everything. Okay. This is your first impression. Knock it out the ballpark. So once you get
Right.
to know that person a little bit, get their name and ask them how their day is doing, then go into your spiel. Well, my name is Nella, and I'm calling from IMBK Properties, a Baltimore based midterm rental. And I'm just reaching out because I want to know, do you guys sign corporate leases? Do you guys sign, like, however you want to word it? Okay. And then once you do that, you give them a moment to answer, okay? And understand, the first person to break the silence loses the game. No matter what. The first person to break silence loses the game. So you wait for them to answer
Facts.
that question, okay?
Yep.
And then once they answer that, okay, do you sign with LLCs? Because even though they may accept corporate leases, they may not sign with LLCs. They may only sign with a C corp, or they may only sign with a certain type of corporation or business. So you have to ask specific questions. And once again, give them the opportunity to answer yes or no. If they say yes, great. Can I set up a tour for and give them a specific date and a specific time? You do not allow them to control the call. The moment that you allow them to control the call, once again, you lose the game. Okay? Try to answer as little as few questions as possible when you are on the phone. Okay. You don't want to answer any questions about what your business is. You already told them it's a short term rental company or a midterm rental or a long term or whatever. You already told them what your business is. There should be no other information that you are giving until you are in person with them, because you want them to feel your energy in person. Your energy in person is entirely different than your energy on the phone. Okay.
Don't say too much.
Exactly.
Basically.
Don't say too much. So then once you get that, if they don't have that date available and that time available, that's when you give them a little bit of an option. You're still controlling the situation, you're still controlling the call. But now you say, okay, what day at what you can give them two dates. Okay, is Friday or Saturday great for you between the times of da 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 da? Or you can give them one date and say, hey, okay, is Friday good for you between anytime between 1 and 4? You are still controlling the call, but now you're making them feel like, okay, I have an option. Okay. So then once you lock in that time, then these are the only other pieces of information you should be giving them. Great. I will see you on Friday at 2 p.m. My name, once again, is Nella. My phone number is X, Y, and Z. And then I'll see you then. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Boom. Your conversation is done. Now, on the flip side, you can easily go ahead, if you're searching for your properties, and let's say you're on apartments.com or Zillow.com or wherever the case may be. A lot of times those types of platforms, they have on the side panel, they have where you can contact the property manager or the landlord, right? So, and guys, I'm doing good today. I ain't had no cough attack, y'all. All right.
Last week you was
I'm on a
going
roll
crazy.
today. No, but on the side panel, you will see where they give you the option to contact the property manager or the landlord. You can use this as well. You just send them a simple short information because you got to fill out your own personal information. It'll ask you your name, your email address, all that kind of stuff to get in contact with you. So you don't have to put in a whole spiel like you do when you're on the phone. But when you are not on the phone and you're sending them an email, you just type in a simple email and just say, "Hey, my name is Nella. I just had a quick question. Do you guys allow corporate leases? I
Jose,
look
what
forward
up?
to hearing." What up, Jose? I look forward to hearing from you soon. Exclamation point, send it off. And then on to the next one. Now, me personally, I don't feel like that's personable. I don't feel like you can really get somebody's energy. I don't feel like you can really make a connection that way. And you got to hope and pray that they get back to you. You got to hope and pray that they do, or whatever the case may be. All right. A lot of times they may not allow corporate leases, but when you're on the phone, just because of the fact that they like your vibe, they may be willing to work with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's really the simple, easy steps to be able to go ahead, lock in your property, lock in the tour date, make the first initial connection, make the first impression. And then, me personally, I hand off the baton to J Star because I can be a people person, but I have a meter. I have a real, my meter is like this big, y'all. Okay. And
Joe, what up?
it go down real fast. Okay. So
Facts,
J
facts,
Star,
facts.
I hand the baton off to him, and then he goes ahead and he makes the next impression in person.
Which is touring the property, actually physically going to see the property. What she didn't mention is that while she's doing the phone calls, she's letting them know that I'm coming to visit the property. So I think that's crucial because she's already built up that rapport with them, right? Over the phone. She got them excited. Hey, by the way, my boyfriend slash business partner or my business partner,
My business
well,
partner.
yeah. So how do you guys want to do it? So if you guys are partners, have partners in this in your business, you want to let them know that, hey, like we understand our position in our business, right? Like she's the analytical person, she's the structured person, she's going to take care of all the paperwork. That ain't me. That stuff make me sleepy, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm the relationship builder. I'm gonna go, like she said, boots on the ground. I'm gonna go tour the property and I know what I'm looking for when I get there. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so when you get to this property, number one, check the outside, front and the back, the area. All right. So just picture yourself. So I think a lot of times when we get our yes, you get a yes over the phone, you're excited to go see this property. I know for us, we probably called 400 properties before we got our first yes, right? So we were excited to get the yes, right? So a lot of times you go through all that and you're literally like, all right, I got my yes. You kind of probably will take a little bit of everything, but you don't want to take everything, right? Just because you got that yes, it still has to meet certain standards, all right? So when you get there, just imagine yourself going to a city you've never been before. Josh, I want you to picture that, right? Once you get out that Uber or that rental, would you want to stay there? And when I say stay there, I mean, do you feel safe? Is it hoodish? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you want to look over your shoulder? You know, like you want to make sure that you don't have that feeling. Because guess what? If you have that feeling, guess what your guests gonna have? They're gonna have that feeling and they're gonna put that in the review. Off rip. Like, hey, even if the place looks amazing inside, I didn't feel safe. I'll never come or whatever the case may be. All right. So once you do that, and don't be afraid to go back and visit that place at nighttime. Because sometimes places look amazing during the day. Then you get there at nighttime, you like, yo, it's a whole lot of guys standing out here. And they're in front of the door. Or I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to make sure you're doing all that. That these things are crucial. Before you even walk in the building, yo, would I sleep here for a day, 2 days, a week, a month, 3 months? Like you get what I'm saying? So make sure you do that first. Now, once you get there, we like to come prepared. So we have like a folder with all of our documents in there. All right. So we're talking you know, babe, what's in our documents? What's in our folder? I'll let you break that part down real quick before we start talking to the person.
So in our folder, we actually give them if we decide that we want to move forward in the process. Let's make that clear first, because
Facts, facts.
this is valuable information that we're handing over to these people. So if we don't want to move forward with you, you're not getting this information from us. Okay. If we are filling out an application that day and we decide that we want to fill out an application, in this folder, they get our EIN letter, they get a certification of good standing, a letter of good standing with the state. They also get our a screenshot of our bank, whether it's the bank statement or just what the balance of the bank account is. So that's a key for if you are starting off fresh and new, you're not going to have a bank statement. So a screenshot, that's how we started, a screenshot of our bank and the deposits that were going into it, our business account, that's what sufficed for some time. Okay. So when that happened, then we decided that okay, so we had our letter of good standing, we had our EIN letter, we also had our Duns and Bradstreet number in there, and then we also had our bank statement. Then we also had a FAQ sheet. Okay, frequently asked questions. We had a sheet of letting them know what our business model is, who our clientele is, and then also what's the difference between us and a regular tenant. Okay. And then a pitch letter just introducing us to them. Okay. And just letting them know, hey, our names, where we're established from, why we started this business, simple and plain, so they get to know us as business owners. All this information
Okay.
in a nice little pamphlet, and we hand it over to them along with our application if we're deciding to apply for the property. If we're not, they don't get that folder from us because once again, it has our bank information on it. It has our EIN, it has our Duns and Bradstreet.
Yeah.
We're not giving this information just to anybody. But when you
Yeah.
are applying for a property, they do need this information to ensure that you are legit who you are and you got what
Business.
you
Yeah.
say you got, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool. So she said we was. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I told y'all we focus on the good, the bad, and the ugly. I done seen so many
Facts.
properties. I was giving out the folder as soon as I got there, right? Like I was excited to finally visit a property that we got a yes from. Like I walked into the door, I know who I'm about to speak to. She already gave me the name of the person to ask for, all the good stuff. I'm here. Here's my folder. Because for me, I guess off the at Front Street, I wanted them to know that I was serious about business, right? I wanted them to see me as business, right? So I didn't just want to be a regular person that was just walking in trying to see a property. So I was handing out the folder as soon as I got there, right? And I was taking the tour. So, and we say wait to the end because a lot of the places that I seen, I hated. And I'm like, yo, I can't get my folder back. Like, we talk about money being wasted on printing these.
Resources
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Over and over, like, and folders we had to buy. So I couldn't get my folder back, is what I'm saying. So wait to the end,
in the
right?
paper, in the ink.
before, before you give her the folder. All right. So now, once you get there, you introduce yourself to the person, and off the rip, you wanted to start building rapport. It's so crucial. That's probably like if you don't remember anything else, just remember building rapport in visiting and touring your properties is super, super crucial because you only really need one good property manager. So, for example, the property that we have, our property manager managed 6 different buildings. So if I
Mhm.
can get in good with this person, I don't necessarily have to go outside of her to find another property, because if I do what I tell her I'm gonna do, which is pay on time and take care of the property, that's what she's gonna do. She gonna give me what I want. Why? Because she got a job. Her job is to make sure she getting paid for for her tenants, right? So once you get there, you introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Chris. That's my government for those who don't know. Government, right?
Put the government
So
out there.
you know what I'm saying? So I can't say I'm Jay Star. They're gonna be like, who's Jay Star? Anyway, you get there, you introduce yourself. Hey, how's your day? Now they did that on the phone, but now I'm in person. I see what this person looks like, right? How's your day going, right? And she might not have talked to that person that day, so I'm gonna make sure I know. Hey, how's your day going today? All right, okay. And she'll tell me, or he'll tell me, so on and so on. I'm here to tour the property, right? Now, as you're touring the property, you still want to talk. You still want to, hey, what time do you get off? Did you eat today? How's your family? You want to form them, right? You just want to just form them as you're talking to them. All right. So, family, occupation, what you like to do for fun, which is the R, recreation, and M
Recreation.
is What is
Money.
the M again? Money. That's what I thought. Okay, money, right? You ain't gotta ask them how much they get paid. Don't ask them that question. All right. So you
Don't.
just want to make sure that you're forming them right. So as you're touring the property,
But
you're
really
looking
quick,
for. Go ahead.
something that you can do in regards to the money portion of forming them is you can ask them what's the occupancy rate right now, because if their
Yeah.
occupancy rate is low, then that means they need the money. They make commissions off of when they place somebody in their property. So if they're at a 40% occupancy rate, guess what?
It ain't.
They need
It ain't even.
you.
It ain't even gotta be that low. If it's below 90, they need you. Like over
They need
90,
you.
90% means they're doing really, really good, right? And they might be like, we don't need
Well,
you,
60.
right? Especially if they get the turnaround all the time. But that is a crucial question. Like you want to actually ask that question every time you see a property. I don't care what property you go see. What's your occupancy rate? And you could ask that at the beginning because now your whole walk could be different just knowing what the rate is. And somebody say we 74, you went there like, oh, ain't no way you telling me no. It just ain't no way. You need me, right? So as you're touring a property, you want to make sure that the property looks like the pictures. Because a lot of things look good online. And don't get it twisted. These properties be catfishing too. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, y'all got this angle, but this ain't look. I ain't see none of this, right? So you want to make sure you're touring, and you want to look for amenities, and you're asking these questions. Okay, cool. I seen online you guys offer a pool. Can I see the pool? Hey, I see you guys have a library, you have a patio, you have this. You want to make sure you're that those pictures, it looks like that in person. All right. Same way, if you see an attractive person online, you want to make sure that person looks like that in real life. All right. We ain't playing no games. Okay.
Facts.
As you so as you're touring a property, once again, you're forming them, you're asking them questions, you're just being bubbly. You're interested. You don't want this just to feel like a transaction for them. Because the goal isn't just to get one property, the goal is to get multiple properties. And if you can build the relationship and the trust with the property manager, once again, they will give you what you want. All right. So as you're going into the property, you want to always make sure, and this is what we recommend, that it has a washer and a dryer inside the property. Why? Because it just makes it super easy for your cleaners. All right. When your cleaners walk in, the first thing you want them to do, besides taking a video and make sure everything is everything, you want them to start laundry because that takes the longest. So if the laundry or if the machines are outside of the property or down the hall, just imagine the work that they would have to do. And what I'll say is before you even hire your cleaners, which we already talked about another one of these lives, you want to make sure for the first 90 days you do the cleaning. That way you can kind of sense how your cleaners will feel during the cleaning. All right. So as you're there, you want the wash machine and the dryer inside the property. You want to ask what's the square feet. You want to make sure that it looks like the square feet. Hey, this is a little small for 800 square feet. You want to make sure. All right. You want to look for like lighting. How's the lighting inside the property too? When you open up the blinds, is it enough light during the daytime, or would it be enough lighting at nighttime? So one of our properties in the bedroom, it there's no light in there like at all. Like it's like it gets really really dark in there, and we had a guest eventually tell us like, hey, it's nice in here, but it's kind of dark. Y'all need some more light in the bedroom. So we took care of that the next day, right? So you want to make sure you're paying attention to the little things, okay?
And on
What
top
else
of
I missed?
that, really
Okay.
quick.
Good.
So when the guest had advised us in regards to the lighting, she wrote it in a private review to us. But when she wrote it to us, we went out immediately and we bought extra lamps and we rearranged things to make sure that there was adequate lighting in the property. But what we did do as well is when we responded to her public review, we advised, hey, we took the feedback that you gave us and we went out and we bought extra lights so that it will be ample lighting in the property. So
Yeah.
this not only shows that guests that their feedback was important to us, but it also
Yeah.
shows guests in the future that hey, they actually listen to
They go
people.
over.
Like
Yeah.
they actually are taking the steps to make sure that we have a great experience. So we
Mhm.
didn't have the ample lighting at first when we started off,
Mhm.
but after like our third guest, that's when we realized that's when she told us, and we have made it a habit of asking, "Hey, what do you feel like we can do better?" so that way we can improve ourselves. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, that I think that's crucial. Like, we wanted to make sure that number one, we don't have all the answers, right? Like, and what we might think we might think the property's finished once you finish decorating and then you open for business. We might think, hey, everything is good, which it wasn't, and we fixed it right away. So if you're getting feedback, you want to make sure that you address it right away. Or the guest actually might be in the property for they might tell you the first day, hey, it's dark in here. Either have somebody come put some light there the next day or before they leave out. That's actually way better. Yo, they actually took care of the problem while I was still here. For example, we
Mm-hmm.
had a couple one of our showers, the shower head just wasn't it was we like good showers. I need that thing to hit me. You know what I'm saying? So we had to
The
go in
pressure was
there, had to make
horrible.
right. So you want that pressure fire. We went to the store, got a new shower head, had our handyman put it up, and they were good to go after that, right? So those little things matter. So just once again, you just want to make sure once you're visiting property that the property looks like the pictures. You want to make sure, like I said, the wash and dry is inside the property and everything that they say that it comes with, the amenities. So you want to ask if they got parking. One of our properties comes with parking. One doesn't come with parking, but we got to pay for parking. It has a private lot. So for us, we're like, hey, we have guests that are going to drive. We can charge them per night for parking that will cover the parking pass. Baltimore parking pass is so expensive, bro. I told somebody the other day that we paid 150 per parking. It was like, what? That's great. Anyway, so it like those little
Ungodly.
things are ways that you can actually make more money while having a property. So if parking's available, especially private parking, hey, I got a spot just for you. All right, you add that to the nightly rate, or you charge them however you want to do it, per day, per that way, right?
Hmm.
Now, like I said, with the pool, you want to make sure you go see all those things. Now, this is what I'll say as far as like amenities go. I don't like to really broadcast the amenities because I don't know who's gonna stay at this property, right? So my mindset is always just imagine there's a nice pool outside, right? Remember when you're getting this property, especially if they're apartments, there are people that actually live there, right? And they don't like to see a whole bunch of traffic. So that's another thing. When you're visiting the properties, you want to look for the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the people, but like
Demographics.
you there you go. The demographics. You want to make sure they're on the younger side, actually. Like you just want to like, if you see a whole bunch of old people, I probably would say no, or I would try to get a floor where like there's really no old because the older people they don't want to see traffic every day. They want to know that they're safe. They want their privacy, and they just don't want to see different people coming in and out of the building every single day. They're going to report you. It happened to us. All right. So if you see younger people, more younger people inside the building around the property, then I would be a little bit more open to that because we don't care. I don't necessarily, I'm not watching any of that, right? Of course, you still want to feel safe, but I'm not tripping about somebody that might have an Airbnb inside the building. I wouldn't care about that. I don't know, babe, would you care about that, right? As long as they're
No.
peaceful, as long as they're not like, oh damn, right? So there are things that you can do to make sure that happens. But you just don't want to just because a lot of times people they want to get Airbnbs and they want the biggest and the baddest building. They want the luxury building. They want the high rise. I want to be at the skybox. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I got that from Martin.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus.
so you just want to make sure, like sometimes a little rinky dink that you can make look like something. Trust me, I could buy the property look rinky dink outside, but when you walk in, it was a whole different story, right? So
It was
you can
nice.
fix it up.
People
You can make
pay.
it.
Go-
Go ahead.
I was saying, people pay when you look at the penthouses and all that kind of stuff. Those people pay money so they don't have to deal with the tourists and all that kind of stuff, right? So we want to make sure, like he said, that you're really paying attention to the demographic within the building. All right. And then once again, we'll get into this after he goes through the tour. But if you do get permission, once again, if you do get permission to have your property in a place that may have older people and they do try to report you or whatever the case may be because you have an Airbnb in there, then you don't got a problem. But if you're
Yeah,
doing this on the down low, which is not the way that we teach you to do this, okay, then you are definitely going to have a problem. All right. So
facts.
even then, even if you do get permission, I would just steer away, because even the slightest noise, they will be like, "Oh my God, they're so disruptive." Like, just make
Yeah.
sure that you are, and talk to the people on the floors. Ask them what's it like living there and all those kind of things. Even though you're not moving in, you want to get to know the people. Okay, like we have somebody on one of our floors that she know the information on everybody on that floor, right? She's nosy. Okay. So we were able to get to understand what everybody on the floor was like before we even moved into that property. So,
Yeah, I mean that's crucial right there. I think I'm almost like done for real. But like with that part, as far as like once you're there, if you start to get complaints, which we had, we got to the point where, we had built a rapport with our property manager, but she was like, look, this is second noise complaint. We didn't got you gonna have people that's gonna try to have parties. It's just a part of the game. So if you think right now that ain't nobody gonna try to have no party or have extra guests or it ain't gonna be loud, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I 100% guarantee you that's gonna happen, right? But how you react and how you respond to that changes everything for your business, right? You can either, get kicked out, or you can make some things happen. So for us, we have 15 doors on our floor, including ours. And Nella's really good with like writing notes. She wrote a nice personal note. This says the same thing for all doors, right? Put our contact information on there, and we bought $5 Dunkin' Donut cards for the whole floor. That's a couple of dollars. That this little thing is a big gesture for people on your floor, because we're new. We're new into the building. They don't know us. They just know that they see different people every day and it's loud, right? So if we can introduce ourselves, hey, by the way, this is me. This is Nella. We just moved here. Yeah, we apologize for the noise. From here on out, we'll take care of that. But here, coffee on me, coffee on us. And if you have any questions, here's our number directly. Please call us and we'll take care of it, because they don't know who to call. So guess who they're calling? The property manager. Bro, it's loud
mhm.
at such and such door every time. Who do I talk to besides, hey, don't call him no more. Hey, don't you call him no more. Call me, all right? Because now you might have not had no minutes. Imagine all the money you invested, all the news you done got, all the money you invested to actually get the property, to decorate the property, set up your business, and now just like that, it could be gone because you ain't get to know your neighbors. Your neighbors don't know you, so they don't even know who to call. They're calling the property manager. So, you want to get into signing the lease?
Sure. I will go ahead and take that away. So, signing your lease is the last part of locking in your property. Okay. So, we will talk about other things. It's so much that goes into it, guys. Like, so we've gone over making the initial call, making the initial contact, building the initial rapport, and making the first impression, right? Then your second impression, which is actually touring the property itself and actually meeting them in person, whether it's the property
Yeah.
manager or an actual landlord, okay? And then now it's time to sign your lease. Yay! You've made it this far, right? Okay. So, when signing your lease, there's a couple things that you want to look out for. The very big thing that everybody worries about is, is this legal? Am I allowed to do this? Well, if you've had a conversation with the property manager, the person that actually has some say, who actually has, like, has the stamp of approval, that's who needs to sign off on you being able to do short-term rental, subleasing, however, rental arbitrage, however you want to word it. Okay. So if and typically the person that gave you the tour of the property is not the person that has the authority to give you the yes or no. They are typically the one that's going to go ask the question, can we do this? Okay. Now
Ours
we got
did.
in
We
luck,
just
and
maybe got lucky.
I was
I was
about to
about to
say
say,
we were lucky.
yeah.
And our person was the person that gave us the tour was actually the person that had the
What
authority.
nothing
We
but
were lucky
God.
on that one.
Nothing
Right?
but
But
God.
during this time when you are actually signing the lease, this is the time that you want to start asking for different comps, guys. All
Oh,
right.
that's what I was about.
This is
Yeah.
where
Mm-hmm.
all of that building the rapport comes into play. I have zhuzhed you all up, right? I have buttered you up and gave you all these compliments. I might have asked you if you were having lunch, and I went and bought you some lunch or ordered DoorDash for you, whatever the case may be, which is what J Star did for our property, our very first property. He bought the property manager some lunch, right? I've done all these things to butter you up. Now I need something in return.
What you
And
got
what I
for
need
me?
in return I'm going to ask you for everything I can get. I'm going to get everything I can out of you, right? I'm going to ask you for free parking for the year. I'm going to ask you if I can get 2 months rent free. Even if you already have a deal going on, I'm still going to ask you. All right? If I can get an extra month on top of that month that you're already giving me, or that $2,000 off that you're already giving me, or whatever. I'm going to ask you if I can get something out of this deal,
No.
because guess what? The more I'm incentivized, the more I'm going to want to rent more properties from the property manager, right? Which in turn helps their occupancy rate. Okay? Which a normal tenant can't do. A normal tenant is only going to come in here and get one property, and that's it, because they're living in that one property. So you want to ask for any comps that you can think of within reason. Don't try to like full blown take advantage and like go crazy, but ask for some comps within reason. Okay.
I say go crazy. You
Don't,
might not get it
no,
all,
don't go crazy.
but go
Cause then they're gonna think
go man.
like you just starting off with these people. They're
Nope,
gonna be like, yo,
I did
stay
that.
trying to get
I
over
went
on us.
crazy. I was asking for everything.
You were still within reason though.
Well, I mean, that's what I
So
mean. I mean, of course, you ain't gonna say nothing crazy or do nothing crazy, but I think like try to get as much as you can. Yes, do all that.
I didn't
You
say
know what I'm
that. You
saying?
can't try to get as
Oh,
much
you
as you
said don't go
can.
crazy.
I
I'm telling
said
them to
don't.
go crazy.
I said
Let them
within
tell you no.
reason. Anyway,
They might
within
not know what that
reason.
means. I don't even know what that means.
Meaning like you're not gonna go ask for 6 months free rent. Like you just like, let's be real. So let's be
I mean,
real.
if you buying, if you getting 3, 4 at a time, that your price could be crazy. Hey, listen, I'm about to get 4 right now. What's up? They might give you 4 months free. You never know. What's the worst guy? But they can say no. Yo,
Okay.
I can't do 4. I got 3.5. I'm just saying, throw it out there. They might got bread out here in these streets.
Anyway.
I'm
So
buying in bulk. Go ahead.
So you're going to go ahead and ask for your comps, okay? Once you get down the negotiation skills and you get the comps going, now it's time to sign your lease. You're going to read every single piece of paper they give you, okay? Please do not be one of those people that just sign the dotted line and just think that you're all good, okay? Because you're not. I guarantee you're not. The first thing that you're going to look for is a clause in your lease somewhere that says there is no subletting permitted. There's no rental arbitrage permitted. There's no short term rentals permitted. However, it's worded, you want to look for that clause because 9 times out of 10, most, especially corporately owned properties, have that clause within their lease somewhere. Okay. Now, if they have that clause, then there's one of two things that needs to happen. You need to either ask them for an addendum or, well, actually, one of three things. You need to either ask them for an addendum, you provide them an addendum, okay, that has no legal jargon, or the person who has authority cross that clause out and they sign next to it and you sign next to it as well. Okay.
break
In
down
like
break
red
down
ink.
legal jargon.
Okay. Legal jargon is a whole bunch of legal terms that they would end up having to have their legal team look over. You don't want them to have to do that because that slows your process down. Okay. So, what you want to do is you just want a simple addendum that states your business name is permitted to do short-term rental arbitrage, what however you want to, once again, however you want to word it, to tenants on a nightly rate in our property. And then you want to put the specific apartment number, okay? Put the specific apartment number so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about the situation. And then you put the term of the lease. So from whenever the lease date starts to whenever it's over, okay? And then you also place in there, okay, that you are able to renew these terms if the lease is renewed as well. Okay. If the lease is not renewed, then obviously there's no need for another addendum. But if the lease is renewed, then you will need the addendum again because you're signing a new lease for another year, 2 years, however whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, once you figure that out, then you want to make sure the amenities that you are going to be paying for is correct. You want to make sure that they have that you read how things need to be delivered to you. Okay. Now you might be you might be thinking, what are you talking about? What does that mean? All that kind of stuff. So, our second property that we had the biggest fear that any host has when they are renting from a corporately owned property is that a new property manager takes over. And that is exactly what happened to us, y'all. Okay.
Tell them.
A new property manager came and took over. And the very first course of action that she took was trying to get rid of us. Okay. And she tried for 6 months. 6 months. And
Every
every single
month.
attempt that she had, she failed without question. Because one, we had our addendum, and two, we had a no play attorney. Okay. He ain't play no
Number
games with her.
two is
So,
crucial.
facts.
You want
Okay.
playing.
So, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that one, that addendum covered our butts. All right. She tried calling the cops on us. We were actually out of town. We didn't even know until we came back. And once again, building relationships, the security on call, the security guard that was actually there that night, she called the police on us, saying that we had unauthorized people in the property, all this other stuff. The police came. The security guard vouched for us. He knew we weren't going to be in town. He vouched for us, and he told the police officers, like, we are great. Our clientele is always amazing, all those different things. The very first thing after they talked to the security guard, the very first thing those police officers asked for was our documentation. She had to go and pull the documentation to show it to the police officers. Now, if she was smart, she would have hid our addendum, but she didn't. And so, because she didn't hide our addendum, the police officers looked at her and said, well, there's nothing that we can do because their stuff is in order. Right. So, once again, you have to have the addendum in order. Now, she then proceeded to try to evict us, okay? And the way that she delivered the eviction notice was by pasting it on the front door of our apartment so that guests would see it as soon as they walked in the door, right? Well, we took it. Firstly, there was another Airbnb host in there, and she was amazing. She took it off the door for us, all this other stuff, right? And because of the fact that
That was the second time. That wasn't the first time.
I'm not saying that was the first time. I'm just saying
Oh, I'm about to say,
I'm not
yeah.
putting it in order.
I had to
So,
take that thing down.
yeah. So, but because of the fact in our lease, it clearly states that she has to send any type of notices to our business address. She did not follow the contract. So she broke the contract, which is a legal situation. So if we wanted to go and be those vindictive people and sue her for putting our business out on Front Street, we could have done that because that is a form of defamation of character, right? So we had that issue with her. We sent all the stuff over to the attorney. The attorney wrote a nice, wonderful letter to her. And we didn't hear a peep ever since, okay, until the next time. But it's things like that. You have to know and understand the stuff that you are signing, because if you don't, that's when you get tripped up, okay? And if you don't know what you're signing, take pictures and send it to an attorney. If you do not have an attorney, get in contact with us and we can help you get an amazing attorney wherever you are located at, okay? But with that having been said, I think I have covered everything on my end. J Star, I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add to this. Make sure y'all just sign the dotted line after you read everything, or have your attorney sign everything. Sign all the pieces of paper. But anyway.
Guys, no, just touch on real quick and then we can wrap up. Before they sign the lease, ask about the move-in.
Oh, the move-in allowance. So, one key crucial point to being able to set up your property and have your property ready for guests, the day that your lease starts is requesting a move-in allowance. Okay. Now, a move-in allowance is just simply asking if I can, hey, let's say for example, your lease starts on May 1st. So maybe you're going to ask the property manager or the landlord, hey, can I have April 29th and April 30th to be able to set my property up? So that way it can be ready for my first client on the 1st. Most of the time, they're going to say yes, and they're not going to charge you for it. Okay. So you can ask them simply, hey, can I have a move in allowance of 2 days to get
I would
everything
say that.
in? Because I have stuff. Because even if you can get 3 days, get the 3 days, but ask
I
for
would
a
say
move in allowance. So that way, when your stuff is coming in, it can go straight to the property and you can be setting it up. Okay. Because the day that your lease starts, that's the day that you want your property to already have a guest in there. Okay. You don't want to be setting up and wasting money and spending time where you could be making money. Okay. So there we go. So
facts.
I that's all we got for y'all today in locking in your property. I hope you guys have gotten so many amazing gems from that. J Star, if you have anything that you want to add to that.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I think we
Okay.
gave everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did too. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday and just go out there and kill it and be amazing. But until then, if you guys have questions in regards to rental arbitrage, short term rentals, the Airbnb space in general, you guys know where to hit us up at Always Nella and at The Real J Star. I hope you guys have a great day. See you later.
Hold on. Before we peace out,
We'll definitely say
if
he
you
was
guys are
done,
thinking,
y'all.
I just thought about it while you was wrapping up. Get our course. Our course is now available. So if y'all think we gave y'all the game right now, just imagine what's in the course. Click the link in any one of our bios. Go straight to the course. Inside the course, you got 3 ebooks that's included in there. One is all your Airbnb essentials that you might not even think about, down to the silverware, right? Pots and pans. All that is in the ebook that you literally can click the link and it takes you straight to the product. Another one is our resources. So you get access to our lawyer that we talked about, right? You get access to our tax strategist as well. And then the third ebook is we got 400 plus properties across the United States that allow it. All right, we did the homework for y'all. I mean, come on,
The
we already did the
hard
homework.
part, y'all. The
That's the
hard part.
hardest part is finding properties. So yeah, so tune in, uh, click the link in the bio, and then if you guys have any questions, we're a phone call away. All right,
Well, not a
peace
phone
out.
call. Don't try to call me, but you can message us. See y'all.